Today is a very exciting day for me. I am so ecstatic to be making this today. This is not going to be my ordinary video. On one hand it is, on another hand it isn't. So I ask that my seasoned subscribers, my seasoned cooks, bear with me today. Please watch to the end because I am so honored to be doing this today. This is actually a subscriber request, and I'm just over the moon and back about it. The subscriber is an 11-year-old, and they said to me in the comments that they love to bake and they love to cook and they love my channel, and they had a request. They wanted to know if I could show them how to make ice cream without using sweetened condensed milk. So here we are today. So when I asked my seasoned cooks and everything to kind of bear with me today, I may seem like I'm explaining things a little bit more than necessary, or maybe going over something a little bit longer than necessary. That's because I just want to make sure that my little 11-year-old subscriber that loves to bake and cooks get it right, okay? I am honored to be able to teach you and show you, all right? So we are going to make ice cream today. It only has 4 ingredients, and it does not have sweetened condensed milk. It is very easy to make, and oh my goodness, is it delicious. I'm going to make a basic vanilla ice cream because from there, you can put in your add-ins like your chocolate chips, you can make cookie dough, you can make strawberry ice cream. If you have your base, you can start from there. So we're going to, especially you didn't say any specific kind, so therefore, we're going to start with the base of a very rich, delicious vanilla ice cream. You will need something that's called castor sugar. I have not been able to find it in the grocery store. Probably could find it online. But castor sugar is your regular sugar that has been ground to a finer consistency. It is not powdered sugar. Please don't use that. And it is not your regular granulated sugar. So I'm going to make it so that you can see how to make it as well. You will need some heavy whipping cream, 1 egg. And because this is ice cream and we are not cooking it, I want you to make sure that your egg is pasteurized. Now, eggs in the United States are all supposed to be pasteurized. However, when it comes to making a recipe where you're going to use this egg and we are not cooking it, personally, I prefer to buy eggs where the packaging, the carton actually says pasteurized, okay? Doesn't mean that the others are not. It's just a little extra measure that I personally like. So this is a pasteurized egg. And you will need some pure vanilla extract. On the vanilla extract, the better quality your vanilla extract is, the more flavorful your ice cream will be. All right, you will also need 2 bowls. They don't have to be equal in size, but 2 bowls, 2 medium bowls will be. If you have 2 large bowls, you'll just need 2 bowls, all right? You will need some other dish because we will be separating this egg, so you'll need something to put the yolk in when we separate it. You will need 4 measuring devices, a 1/3 cup. We actually need a 2/3, but I cannot find my 2/3, so you'll need either a 2/3 cup measure or a 1/3 cup measure so that you can measure 2/3. So I have a 1/3 cup measure. I have a 1/4 cup measure. I have a tablespoon measure, and I have a teaspoon measure. You will also need, in order to make your castor sugar, a grinder, a blender, something to grind it up in. I will be using a small coffee grinder. You can use a blender. I would not suggest using a food processor simply because you're only going to be using a 1/4 cup of sugar. And at least my personal food processor has a small gap between the blade and the bottom of the food processor. And therefore, the blade is not, it's not enough sugar down there for the blade to hit it and rotate it and do what it needs to do. So if you don't have a small coffee grinder like what I'm getting ready to use a regular standard blender and it'll work just fine. Also, you will need a mixer. Now, you can do all of this by hand if you don't have one, but it will be work. If you have a mixer, you can use a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer. It's very quick, so I typically don't bring out my stand mixer for things like that. But if you're using a hand mixer or a stand mixer, you want to use your whisk attachment, okay? If your mixer does not have a whisk attachment, you can use your regular beaters. It'll just take a little bit more time to do it, okay? So I'll show you how to use that with it and everything else. All right, let's go ahead and start on our ice cream. Okay, so this is the little coffee grinder. It's a Hamilton Beach coffee grinder. And I will put it in the product, the tagged products that's on the video. This is a Hamilton Beach. None of this is sponsored. I'm just going over everything and showing everything because my little 11-year-old asked me, so I want to make sure I tell everything, okay? So nothing in this video is sponsored, even if I go over it and say something about it. But this is a coffee grinder, but I use it for spices. I use it for a lot of things that don't require a lot. So this is just regular granulated sugar. And I'm going to take just a tad bit more than 1/4 of a cup because when I grind it down, it's going to be a little bit finer. So I want to make sure I have enough. And I'm just going to put it into the coffee grinder. Put just a tad bit more in there, just to make sure I have enough. And now we're going to grind this up. And I will show you the difference in the textures after I grind it up. It doesn't take but a couple of grinds. Okay, I have these two black measuring devices just because I think white on white, I want you to see the difference in the texture. And I think white on white, it might be a little bit harder to see. So pour that into there. And this is my actual one, so I'm gonna pour it into here. And you can see it off the video, like in real life, very, very well, but I'm not sure. See if you can see the difference in the textures. This one is a little bit more firmer and coarser than this one over here. This is the one that I grind up. So you want it to be fine like that. Just fine, finer than the regular. Okay. And we need 1/4 of a cup. Now that we have our sugar done, we're going to just set it aside. And I can set both of these measuring devices aside, and we need our egg. We're going to crack our egg and separate it. When we separate our egg, we want to put the white in the larger bowl and leave the yolk in a standard or smaller bowl. Crack the egg in the middle if you can. And just let that yolk run out. Or I'm sorry, I said let that yolk run out. Let that white run out. Then put the yolk in the other bowl. Wash my hands out, I'll be right back. All right, now that we have our yolk separated, we want to sit the yolk separate from the white. Now we're going to whisk the white until we have soft, medium peaks. The way you want to whisk it is to start on low. As you see visually with your eye that it is starting to thicken up, move to medium speed. Once you see it thickening even more, go ahead and move it all the way up to high speed until you have soft peaks. And I'll show you what the soft peaks look like. Because this is a large bowl and it has a wide bottom, I'm going to tilt it over this way so that my egg white will be at one edge of it, which will make it easier to whip. As you can see, it's getting thicker. We're going to medium. It's now thicker and coming together. We're going all the way to high until it has soft peaks. And that's a soft peak. See that? On the end there, it's not stiff, but it's not dripping off of the whisk either. See that peak down in there? That's a soft peak. Now we want to add in a tablespoon of our caster sugar so that we can stabilize it. Make it so that it won't deflate. And I'm gonna put that over to the end just so that I won't waste any inside of it. Okay. So just kind of sprinkle it around, then we're gonna whisk again because the sugar is going to make it a little liquid, so we want to whisk it again until we have soft peaks again. I'm going to start at medium this time because we're already halfway there, and bring it quickly up to high. And we have our soft peaks again. Now we are going to set the egg white aside. And you want to grab your other bowl. Always do your egg whites first when you're whisking this particular recipe. Do your egg whites first. Now we're going to whisk our heavy cream, but because we did our egg whites first, we don't need to clean our mixer, our beater, or our whisk right here. We just can go ahead and do our heavy cream. You can use a liquid measuring glass if you want. I am just using, that's the half, for whatever reason I had it out here. But anyway, I'm using my third measure. I'm just going to use 2 of them. You want 2/3 cup of heavy cream. And of course, I will have the exact measurements and ingredients down in the description for you. We're going to add the other ingredients in just a minute, but first we need to whip this heavy cream also into soft peaks. Same process, low, medium, high as it thickens. Okay, we have our heavy cream into soft peaks. Now to our heavy whipping cream, we're going to add all of our caster sugar that's left from us taking that 1 tablespoon, our egg yolk, and our vanilla extract. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now we're going to whisk this until it's in soft peaks. Okay, we have our soft peaks again. Now from here is where you need your rubber or silicone spatula. We are going to fold in our egg whites into the cream mixture. And as you can see, it's still in a soft peak. That's what that sugar added to it will do. So we want to put this in here. Just go ahead and put it in there. And then you must fold it in. Not stir it, not beat it, not whip it, but fold it. This is so it won't deflate. And by folding, I mean start at the edge away from you and bring it to you, turning it over. And you want to do this gently. Just keep doing it, folding it over just like that. gently until you don't see any streaks, because you may not can see it on camera, but the egg white is very white, and the cream, because of the vanilla in the egg, is kind of yellowish, has a beige tint to it. So once you see it's well combined and there are no more streaks, then you know you folded it in correctly. Scraping up your sides as you go so that you can incorporate everything, and just continue to fold until it is well mixed and blended. Okay, and we are done. It doesn't take long. You need an airtight container. So we're gonna put this in this plastic container and then smooth it over. And right before I do that, I actually see, this is clean, I actually see a little bit of my egg white on the back of this, just to make sure as I'm putting it in the bowl, it does not separate or anything. Scrape that off the spatula. Okay, now put it in your airtight container. Once you have it in your airtight container, you want to take the back of your spatula, that's why I cleaned it off, and smooth it out so it can be in one nice even layer. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. You just don't want it, it'll freeze more evenly this way. You don't want a big lump in the middle and nothing around the edges. So take your time, take the spatula and just smooth it out just like that. Put it in the freezer. It needs to stay in the freezer for at least a minimum of 6 hours to overnight. So I'm gonna put this in the freezer and we'll be back when it's time for a taste test. Okay, all frozen. And this is what we look like. All right, let's get us some out here so that we can do our taste test. Look at that, doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness. Now I have a few little chocolate chunks here. They're just Nestle's chocolate chunks. And I'm going to crush them up a little bit just to sprinkle them on the outside. Just for a little garnish. Okay, we are all done. Oh my goodness, look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh my goodness. Ooh-wee. We gotta do a taste test, y'all. Yes, I just tasted some, and I'm not saying anything yet. Oh my goodness. Again, I am honored to have had the opportunity to make this ice cream as a subscriber request for an 11-year-old that loves to bake and loves to cook and loves my channel. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, okay? The comment is on the screen, so you guys can look at the original comment as well. And if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. Take a second and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 1 million subscribers. I am on the way. I really do appreciate you all returning subscribers. Thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me. And for my channel members, oh my goodness, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you know someone that wants to make ice cream without the sweetened condensed milk and they don't have to churn it and all that, share the recipe out. Share the recipe out. And it's easy enough for kids to make, as we just saw. So, look again, look again. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and taste it. Ooh, and it's creamy. It's soft, it's creamy. It froze just enough. And when I say froze just enough, it's not hard as a rock. You saw me pull it out of there with my ice cream scooper. There are some homemade ice creams that it's like a brick. You then have to sit it out and let it melt some, but not this. It is the perfect texture. It's the perfect consistency. Oh my goodness, and let me tell you something. Ice cream is my favorite dessert out of everything. Offer me ice cream and I'll say yes every time. Let me tell you really quick before we get out of here about the add-ins. Again, this is a basic vanilla ice cream recipe. You can do what I did, just sprinkle some chocolate chips on the top and the end, or you can mix them in. You can put in cookie dough, make some no-bake cookie dough and crumble it up along with some chocolate chips. I would suggest to freeze it as is for maybe about halfway through, an hour, a couple of hours, so it's firm but not solid. Take whatever your add-ins are and mix them in at that time and fold it in so you won't deflate it because it's not fully frozen. So fold your add-ins in and smooth it back over. That way they won't sink to the bottom. You can do caramel. If you have like some caramel sauce that you want to put in there, not hot, but just regular caramel sauce, drizzle it over the top, take a knife and swirl it in like you would making a marble cake at that halfway mark. Strawberries, anything you want to add into your ice cream, you can do that. Now I use vanilla flavor. You can use any flavoring that you want to flavor it. If you want mint chocolate chip, you can use a mint flavor in there, all right? I know a lot of people don't want to use that artificial stuff, and I don't blame them, but if you want the green mint chocolate chip, then just add a dot of green when you are whisking your heavy cream to stiff peaks, and then still add in your chips later, all right? And your mint flavoring, and you'll have mint chocolate chip. It's simple enough, easy enough to play with it. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys get out of here, and guess what? I'm getting ready to go fit. Oh, one last thing. I let my ice cream sit overnight. I actually made a separate one, and it was already in the refrigerator or in the freezer. I let it sit overnight, then I came, and what you just saw me make is now in the freezer. So I usually let mine sit overnight, okay? But 6 hours to overnight. If you're in a hurry and gotta go somewhere and need it, 6 hours is good, but overnight is better. All right, I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.